If you can't feel your glutes during your workouts, that's most likely why they're not growing. When I first started in the gym, I was working out my glutes multiple times a week and I just was not seeing any results. I wasn't seeing any results at all. I was just seeing my quads grow and kind of my legs, my overall lower body growing, but I never saw any glute growth. And I used to always neglect the fact that I just was not actually engaging my glutes. So if you've been trying to grow your glutes as well and you're not really seeing the results, stick around and I'll be sharing some of the tips as to why. So number one is you're just going through the motion. I used to go to the gym and just do the workouts without actually thinking about recruiting the right muscle, or whether or not I was actually feeling the muscle I was working out mid-set or anything like that. I was just kind of going through the motions. And I think a lot of beginners do that. I think it's normal to do that for a little bit when you're first getting started, but over time you really do need to incorporate, mind to muscle connection and really recruiting the right muscles. Number two is your quads are taking over. If you have proper form and you're hinging, you're doing all the right things, and you're still feeling your quads take over and your quads are just growing much more and much faster than your glutes, then you're most likely quad dominant. But that's completely normal. Number three is you're going too fast. You're rushing through your reps. You're rushing your workouts and you're just kind of trying to get out of there. But let me just tell you, once I started to slow down my reps, not rush, take my time, I finally started to actually see glute growth. Number four is you're not setting up properly, and that can mean your foot positioning. So if you're doing Bulgarian split squats and you want to hit your glutes more, you got to hinge forward and have the right stance. You really just have to make sure that your foot positioning is right and that you are setting up properly for a glute biased exercise. So how I fixed these simple mistakes was just slowing down my reps, mind to muscle connection, really thinking about the muscle that I wanted to recruit and engage, and actually think about my glutes squeezing and locking out at the top for a hip thrust, and for RDLs really hinging back and doing time under tension, and actually grow your glutes and see the results that you want. Another thing is having the right foot placement, learning your body, learning what works for you, what doesn't work for you, learning if you're shorter or taller, setting up for hip thrust, the right bench height, all of those things can play a big factor. So once I actually started to slow down my reps and engage my glutes and think about my glutes and being engaged and think about my glutes while I'm actually doing the exercise, I finally started to see my glutes grow, and I actually started to feel my glutes during the workouts, and it just made it such a big difference because you're actually actively thinking about the muscle that you're working out, and it really does help and make a big difference in your glute growth. Mind to muscle connection is really key, and it's such a big thing, and it's very important to incorporate if you really want to see glute growth. I highly recommend incorporating mind to muscle connection.